100 million rand in prizes. Call 10213, click telcom.co.za or go to any Telcom shop.
The cast and crew, as you would expect on a secret movie, is absolutely beautiful. People that were just in the right place at the right time and just felt it was the right movie to do. The timing was perfect, and I mean, that's just for all the secret fans. They know that that's the way that it works.
I'm open to the possibility that whatever happens, even the bad stuff, can lead to better things.
Not in this house. We at the secret team really hope with this movie that it will remind all the secret fans of the power that they have to create the life that they want to create.
Anything is possible if you really want it. The more you think about something, the more you draw it to you.
Okay, so this is me thinking about pizza.
Okay, I've got a medium cheese or Miranda Well.
Did you do this?
Don't look at me.
I hardly meet anybody that hasn't read the book. We will get letters and somebody will say, I've just discovered the secret and I can't believe it's changing my life so dramatically already.
When I first heard that they were doing a secret movie, I was like, I read that book. I practiced those principles, and so then I secreted getting the role in this movie, and boom, here I am. See that, folks? It works.
I've listened to the book, The Secret, which is a beautiful listen. Without a doubt, I would say the times in my life when I practice The Secret are some of the most profound times, and then the times in my life where I don't are some of the most challenging.
Why does this always happen to us? Unlucky, I guess. I remember when the book came out and the huge phenomenon that it was. It was very impactful for me and just so positive. So I feel really honored to be a part of this.
This has a spirituality to it, but it doesn't have religion. And I think that's an important part. Because whether you're a Buddhist or an atheist or a Christian or a Jew or believe in Mother Nature or believe in the universe and the power that it has, the fact that if you have a guiding principle of what else is out there, that the world is a lot bigger than you and that you can attract things that you need.
I think there's no doubt when I force myself to wake up in the morning and think, okay, good things are going to happen today, and it's something I practice every day. When I think about what I want instead of what I don't want, my life is just so much better.
You're one of those people who wakes up happy, aren't you?
I think The Secret is something everybody could sort of use in their lives right now. It's been a very positive experience, and I hope people get the same positivity out of it.
I really am so grateful that I get to do this. It's what I dreamed about doing when I was a little girl. So I do often wake up and say, I can't believe I actually really get to act and make movies and television and plays. And so I write lists of gratitude a lot. I really do feel very grateful.
I've consistently heard from the crew and from different people on this movie that there's almost always a reason why they're here because of The Secret, because of the story. Not just because of the script, but because of the idea behind it.
As soon as I wrote, cast and crew have come up to me and told me that they're now using the secret as a verb and they're secreting things. So since they started working on the movie, they're secreting the weather or they're secreting technical things. So it's really wonderful to see everybody getting involved right now.
I know it's based on The Secret, and it's not a preachy movie in any way.
It's a very, very uplifting movie. I think it's funny. I think it captures what it's like to have a family. It's a joyful film.
It's a love story. It's someone coming into their own.
I think the secret team, we always knew there would be a movie at some point beyond the documentary. We just didn't know what shape that would take. Everything is always perfect timing, and this movie is perfect timing.
Right?
That's my girl. I think everybody should read The Secret. And if you don't want to read it, just sit back and watch the movie. It's a positive experience on everyone's life, you know.
2 years, we've noticed a big trend with people bringing in moss balls and string gardens into their homes, and it all started back with the Japanese when they made up their kokedama balls. Now, kokedama, koke meaning moss, dama meaning balls loosely in Japanese. So I'm going to show you today how you can make a fairly authentic kokedama ball using the old traditional method. So what we're going to need first up is some bonsai potting mix and some peat moss. So what we're going to do is, the best mix that I find is you put about 1 part of your bonsai mix and then bring in 2 parts of the peat moss. And what the peat moss will do, will help hold moisture, but it will also help the soil become more pliable so that I can form the actual ball. So roughly about that sort of consistency is the go, but you might need to add a little bit more peat moss in if you don't have that right mix there and the pliability. So from here we're going to add some water. Now you can wear gloves and do all that sort of stuff, but you know I like getting my hands dirty, so let's do that. So just mixing it through. Now we don't want to make a real soaked mix where it's too wet and sort of sloshy. We're getting close there. Now this peat moss really does suck in a fair bit of water as well. This will be pretty close, I'd say. What you should be able to start doing is forming a ball. Okay, so the size of the ball that you're really looking for is about the size of an orange thereabouts. Really is dependent on the size of the plant that you're using. And what you're looking for, as I'm squeezing this, you can see some of the moisture coming out of it. Just showing you just how much moisture the peat moss holds. So at the end, you know you've got the right consistency if you can do that. Okay? If it breaks up, well then you need more peat moss or bonsai mix. Okay, so from there, what we're going to do is just put that aside, and then we're going to work on our plant. So this one here is just the hen and chicken fern, which will look pretty dainty. So what we want to do is take off as much soil as we possibly can. Just being careful not to damage the roots too much. Instead they're just breaking away. Sometimes just a bit of a shake like that is a good method. Alright, that's going to be pretty good. So we'll just push that aside. Now with the actual ball itself, what you can do now is actually break it fairly easily in half. So you just sort of hold it and you can see it just opens up nicely like that. Okay, so then you go to get your plant, just position it in the middle like that, and then pretty much just squeeze all this back together. And what you're actually doing is just forming that ball back around this plant. You can see it's really encased the plant, and that's going to be where it gets all its life form from, and it'll be able to grow in there and be pretty happy. So, and what you can do, if you want to patch up some of this again, you can just use little bits of the leftover here that we had from the start, and just go around and work your way around just to get a really good shape going again on that ball. Doesn't matter if you drop a little bit, don't panic too much, because once we put the moss on, you'll never know. Now this moss that we're using is just a sheep moss that you get from a florist. Some people have different mosses growing in their backyards that they use as well, and they dig them out. Normally you'll find that in a pretty shady part of the garden if you're lucky enough to have some of this growing. So otherwise, just go to the florist. Alright, so always good to try and get the biggest piece you can and pop that on the bottom. And what you want to do is just sit the ball in position like that and just fold up the